So, pervy Prince Andy will be facing a civil case later this year for the sexual assault of a teen. And that teen, Virginia Roberts Griffith, is the person in question. Now, the thing that I want to point out here is that, and you guys know how I am, I always find the most interesting little detail, and I talk about why it's a very important detail. Now, the detail I want to speak about is the fact that these claims began more than 10 years ago. Now, the thing is, guys, as much I talk about the justice system a lot because I've seen it in different areas of my life, in other people's lives, also on TV, and I've seen the differences. So I really can notice when something is shady because I've seen how the justice system works for people who are not in a place of power or overwhelming wealth to be able to just get away with things because of loopholes, right? And so one thing that's odd to me about this whole thing is the fact that he has had claims for 10 years. 10 years. And 10 years is a long time to have been having claims started. And all that time, he was still, I think, working for the most part, still under his royal titles, doing his royal duties, going on with it, even though there were claims. And even if it was just claims, there's absolutely no way he and the royal family didn't know about this, because when there are claims of things go around, whether people acknowledge them, whether people address them. If it's about you, probably the royal legal team is probably looking into everything that's said about the royals, right? Surely they would have heard about this stuff. So to me, now that we're seeing justice all these 10 years later starting to happen, it's very sad that it's had to go on for this long. And I wonder how it must be for the victims enduring such a long process, having to go through something. Because the thing is with this stuff, and this is why this is a tactic of a lot of people who are in who have a lot of money or who are in power, is they drag cases along massively, right? And they find their loopholes because it makes them unattractive to the lawyers of the opposite party, because those lawyers don't want it to take a very long time, because that's continuing time they've got the case, where they could be working on other cases. They want to get their legal fees. They want the defendant to be able to pay the legal fees, because the defendant probably doesn't have much money, so it's not probably favorable for them. So it's very tactical what they're doing. It's very, very tactical. And so I think for him to be having all that time where he was just having claims, I think it was nothing. I think they overlooked it. I think they shouldn't have overlooked it. I think the same energy we're seeing now, we should have seen then. We should have seen the royal family saying something like, we've heard the claims of Prince Andrew. We will not, we love our public enough that we will formally hold our own trial to find out if this is the case. We've withheld all his royal titles and military titles until we gain a verdict, because although we have no belief that he would ever do such a thing, we must respect the judicial process and da 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 da. See how they don't say stuff like that? Because that would be the noble thing to say if this justice system that everybody's pushing us so much into, even the fact that the prisons are called HMP, Her Majesty's Prison. That's what the prisons are called over here. HMP so and so, HMP so and so, in all the different areas. It's HMP and then the area. So we've got HMP, Her Majesty's Prison. Alright, Her Majesty's Prison is where prisoners are staying, and yet Her Majesty's son has had 10 years of claims before we got to this point. Can you see how unfair that seems, and how unfair that actually sounds, and it actually is? So for me, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of fixating on this. I'm disgusted, really, because even if you just see from the pictures, because apparently that's how the claim started. Like, it was the picture of him and Virginia, and then there was another picture of him with Epstein, and apparently even flipping, what's his name? Pervy Prince Andy had said something like, oh, he wishes he never met Jeffrey or something, or some nonsense. Like, you're just acting. But these guys are great actors, they really are. A lot of these people, I think, are great actors. Trying to see people being honest, like, it's like kind of like with Jamie Lynn I was talking about in some of my previous videos, like how her acting levels are, well, I didn't talk about her acting levels, but I thought about that when I saw her interviews. I was like, wow, you're really putting on a performance. Like, you really are. Like, I kind of feel like this is about Prince Andrew. Like, you were involved willingly. Like, apparently one time they had a party anyways, as I said, in one of the royal castles, if I'm not mistaken. So that's just, but it's funny, isn't it, as well, to me, how Charles and what's his name, William. Now this is an important thing for me to mention, and this is the lucky one for you guys who've stayed this long into the video. You're very blessed. Now William and Charles, they have said specifically, and here's me going looking at the details again, because that's what I like to do. They have specifically, or rather allegedly, said that they don't want him to have the titles and stuff because they don't want him to roil the reputation of the royal family. Now, what they didn't say, which is what I realized they should have been saying, is we want to take this seriously. And that whole speech I just said before, that they could have said about, we're going to do the fair judicial process because we care about the people. Like, it's not about the people, it's about the royal family. And so again, it's just not making the royal family look very good in a kind of way, if you think about it. That now they're just coming out with it because they have to keep up their reputation. And now Prince Andrew is just like, look, well, you messed up enough times, Andrew. Like, we're not gonna wait for you now. We're not gonna include you. Like, you messed up. We're not gonna go downhill because of you. Like, goodbye. Pretty much. That's how it's coming across to me anyway. So I just thought I would add that little nugget in there at the end, because I was really thinking, it's weird how that's what they were worried about. I get that the reputation is important, but surely reputation is supposed to be, it's not just something that you just have. There's supposed to be a substance to it. Like, it's supposed to mean something. So it's like, if your brother's actually guilty and he is a member of the royal family, then you deserve to lose reputation points. You do deserve that. You can't just say we want to protect the reputation and not have a level of substance in there as well. Do you see what I mean? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think anyways in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Other than that, God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one.